Hello, this is Sun Tzu for GosuGamers, and I'm here with Honey from Fnatic, and you've just beaten Na'Vi 3-0. What happened? How do you go about taking down arguably one of the best teams in the world in that fashion?
I think it pretty much all comes down to our mentality, how we go into the game. And we're very confident with our draft. So knowing that our draft is going to be good is all about how the mentality is going into the game. And actually yesterday when we played against the Lions, we got stomped the first game. It kind of is one lacking in me having, like, I had a pretty bad mentality back then in the first game because I knew our draft was quite ass in how we wanted to execute it originally. But yeah, we came back strong.
Indeed you did. Now, you've actually, apart from that one game, you've beaten Alliance and Na'Vi in every game in this tournament so far. How does that make you feel going into the finals? Are you confident about your chances?
I'm pretty confident against anyone. I think it really comes down to that we're just confident with ourselves. Like knowing no matter what opponent you get, you start with a draft and there is going to be your decision on how you approach the game. It was actually in the last game against Na'Vi, we kind of messed it up the early game. But lately I've been doing the calls in the team, like in-game calls. The draft is still up to Fly. Like, I have impact on that as well, but it's like we usually had issues with no one actually leading the team. And I got into it. In start I didn't feel like doing it because I was very concentrated on the mid-roll. But it got better the more I got into it. So it helped out a lot.
Yeah, and your way of playing the mid-roll has also changed a lot over the recent sort of few months. We've seen Trixie play a lot more farm-heavy heroes, and generally he likes to farm. And that's seen you bring back heroes like the solo mid-lion and such. Can you tell us a bit about how that sort of that change happened for the team and what the motives behind it are?
Yeah, it kind of is like someone had to adjust the gameplay, and I knew that Kalle, Trixie, is not going to change the way he plays. Plus, he also plays very good when he has to farm. Like, I would say he's one of the best players with items. The way he plays is very cocky. It's kind of like, I would compare him to a Roast in the gameplay. If he knows he has the items, he would just go for it. So, with that, then I was pretty much in the role to adjust my play. And that ends up in having a hero middle that doesn't need items to actually do something.
Yeah, and does it actually help that you tried out playing support earlier, and the switching back and forth between you and No Tail? Does that help you in sort of getting into the mindset of, I'm going to play a mid, but I'm going to play a more supportive and utility role?
Kind of. I mean, I'm looking for heroes that are very strong without items. Like Bad Rider Shu has his key items, but then again, you can get these items also by farming jungle. And one call in the last game was getting the Venomancer middle, because we got crushed on the lane, top. And that was, I think, very important to win the game, because Venom would have had nothing if he would have stayed top. And I couldn't really farm middle as bad against the Luna. So we switched it up, and by that decision, we got a lot of farm on the Veno. And it didn't change much for me, because I was in jungle anyway.
Yeah, indeed. And it's one of those things that when you first got into Dota 2, a big thing that everyone noticed was that you could throw around the lanes almost any way you wanted, because you got so much depth in terms of what you guys have played. And it's sort of coming back now in terms of like being able to react to opposing lanes. But do you still feel like you could improve a bit in terms of being a bit more unpredictable again?
Yes, I feel like there's a lot of drafts you could still run. that are very surprising, because you don't see, like, you will always see the standard heroes in a game, but like I said, there's heroes such as Lion, for example, in the game we played, in the second game we played, that will throw you off, because your mindset is going to be like, okay, Lion against Odie middle, Odie should crush the Lion, and then again, Lion is going to be useful. It's going to be very useful with our items. So if you don't feed the Odie, he'll not gain much. It was kind of crucial in our third game when they had the Odie top, because Fly kept feeding him. And if he actually just didn't get anything, like if you only had the farm, only free farm does not win you games. It really doesn't. And I mean, that is like one of these heroes, like Lion, as I mentioned. There's a lot more that can come into play if you have the right mindset. If you know their strat and how to counter it, then you can obviously run all kinds of heroes.
Yeah, and like you are usually seen as a very snowbally player. Like if you get a good start, you absolutely take over the game. But the fact that you're sort of willing to take the risk and sort of give that Odie a good start, and you'll have a bit of a weaker start. How
it really depends. That actually really depends on the matchup I get. Like, there's one thing, knowing in the past especially, I think it was also the first game against the Lions when I played. No, I didn't play Storm, right? No, I didn't. But my past Storm games, 10 in a row. Storm is a hero. You need PTs or kits very fast. If you get the items at 13 minutes, you can stomp the game. If you get the items at 20 minutes and the carry has a BKB, you're not going to do anything. Like, and it pretty much comes down to either I get the support. If I don't get the support, then I will never get these items, because Storm is a hero that can get ganked very, very easy. Before 6, you just have the right hero middle against it, and you're just going to get ganked, and the hero will end up doing nothing for you, nothing. And that's also where the mentality comes from with, I don't want to play these kind of heroes unless I know I have the support. But it works very well for us, not me having the farm, and rather me having the hero where it's all about positioning. If you position right, you can gain a huge advantage on the opponent. Because you are very scary, but you don't need the items to be scary. So it's all about the hero, it's not about the items.
Indeed. And I think that was quite a bit of insight from you. Any last shout-outs?
Shout out to all my sponsors, Fnatic, and shout out to Angina.
Cool. See you guys.